in rural Pennsylvania this morning, August morning, in the year 2020, and I want to make a few remarks concerning the current state of the United States Postal Service. We are certainly not normal today. The newly appointed Postmaster General, Louise DeJoy, should not be implementing any drastic changes to the operation of the postal system mere months before the national election to choose the chief executive. I was the first Postmaster General in our newly formed nation, and I must say I am done rolling over in my grave. I come before you today concerned that there may be a degree of mischief involved here. I am also wondering about the circumstances of our previous Postmaster General, Megan Jane Brennan, and by the way, who was the first woman Postmaster General, and I'm concerned about the circumstances of her retirement. Now, what we come to find out under the new postmaster, that he's beginning and started retooling the postal system. And the claim of an urgency needed, long overdue, and it's been a long time coming and needs to happen. I find this very troubling right at this juncture. Today, our Postal Service is a vital component in providing every citizen with a choice as to how they decide to cast their vote. Mail-in voting has been a long-established option and should not be allowed to be compromised due to the system slowdown under the guise of developing economic efficiency. I made many improvements, even in colonial times when I was the Royal Postmaster under the British rule. I established very efficient postal routes. I actually put an odometer on the axle of my wagon to travel those routes, took meticulous notes on mileage and all the necessary notes I needed to establish good postal routing. I organized riders and accommodations along the way for them to stay. We needed competent riders that we could count on. I had to arrange horses and even put mileposts along the way, all the way up and down the colonies through our early days in a postal system. And it was vital that we had this. No large-scale changes need to be implemented during a time of a profound political importance. Keep in mind, if these major changes were made in the year 1776 in my time, and we were in the middle of a revamping of our postal system, and our Declaration of Independence was published, and we needed to rapidly disperse them throughout the colony. What happens? Oh, they got lost in the mail. Oh, they're delayed. You can see how critical this could be. The Postal Service from my time to today has always been the lifeblood of our nation. It was the internet of my time and still is relevant today. What if your letters are delayed? What if it's a letter from the Internal Revenue Service concerning taxation and penalties, and you have a dispute and the letter is delayed? What if, and I will make note that the Internal Revenue Service says in their own words, the only response you should listen to is a letter from the Internal Revenue Service, not a phone call, not an email, but a letter. Now, moving to prescription medicine and drugs for people, there's reports they're not coming in time and they're drastically necessary. Merchant payments, what about the delays? Utility bills. Social Security checks, and now concern about ballot delays. What can we do? Well, call your House rep, U.S. Congress, House of Representatives, U.S. Congress, United States Senators. Call your local legislatures and tell them your concerns. What else can you do? Mail your ballot early. Even more so, voice your concerns on social media. And most importantly, register to vote, and more importantly, go vote. We and my associates gave you a republic. It is now your duty to keep it and sustain it. Your humble servant, Ben Franklin.